Folks, my name is Tyrone Squires, and I've got a brief 5 to 7 minute video that I'm going to share with you here today, centered around this idea of why your pharmacy benefit manager's business model matters. I'm going to be touching on 3 specific business models. More importantly, the financial implications of doing business with each. But those business models are traditional, transparent, and fiduciary. Why is this important to you? Bingo. Imagine a scenario where after a long day at work, you have to stop in the supermarket and you have to pick up a few items. You're going to pick up some bread, maybe some cheese, maybe a nice bottle of red wine. Oh, and you cannot forget the sea salt caramel ice cream sandwiches. I'm telling you, that's got to be on everyone's shopping list. 2 words for you about those ice cream sandwiches: the sea salt caramel, diet buster, let me tell you. But let me get back to my point here. You pick up those items, you take those items to the cash register, and you're expecting to pay maybe $30. The cashier hands you a receipt without multiple line items, just one line item that says groceries $100, $70 more than you expected to pay, and you're obligated to pay. You can complain all you want, but when you walk into that grocery store, you know what type of business you're dealing with, and when you get that receipt, you must pay it. The same scenario plays out in terms of doing business with PBMs, specifically the type of PBM you decide to do business with. How do PBMs make money? And I'm going to just these next couple illustrations are focused on traditional and fiduciary and transparent PBMs. Their business models are usually somewhere in the middle, but ideally fiduciary is the optimum result we encourage all of our clients to pursue. But traditional PBMs make money primarily 4 ways. There are some other ways, but primarily 4 ways, with the larger source of revenue coming from the manufacturer that use. Every PBM says that they're going to be transparent. To say that you aren't is essentially a death knell for a PBM. But there are 3 different levels of transparency for a PBM. Let's start with level number 1. I consider it an imposter. This is where in your contract it will say brands are priced at AWP minus 15 or 16%, whatever you have in your contract. Generic medications are going to be priced based upon the prices in the MAC list, and if the generic isn't in the MAC list, its price is going to be based upon AWP with some sort of discount attached to it. That leaves the door open for a significant amount of hidden cash flows on the back end for a PBM that lacks transparency. The second level, again, is much better, and I alluded to this earlier when I showed you how PBMs make money. Transparent PBMs are somewhere in the middle, right? They don't make as much money as traditional PBMs, and make more money yet and still than a fiduciary PBM. So level 2 is better than level number 1, but it is not ideal. It doesn't offer the highest level of transparency, and that is binding. We can't just talk about transparency. We must commit to it in writing, and binding transparency does that, where you get more competitive pricing than industry norms. All manufacturer revenues go back to the plan sponsor, not just rebates. And then you're offered the opportunity to conduct full audits as it relates solely to the business you conduct with the PBM, not anyone else's invoices, just your invoices. I'm going to wrap this up by saying this. There are all sorts of definitions for transparency out in the marketplace today as it relates to PBMs. Let me give you our definition of transparency. Transparency to us is the perpetual elimination of all hidden costs. And just one last word of advice as I wrap this up here. If you do not have a fiduciary standard, or at a minimum binding transparency with your PBM, to some extent, you are going to overpay. Feel free to reach out to me. My email address is there, tyrone.squires@transparentrx, as well as my direct line. If I'm unable to pick up, please leave a message. I will get back to you that same day. I hope you enjoyed the video.